Stanford name is synonymous with integrity and the highest ethical standards. Our Alan Stanford has successfully enhanced the reputation and the business of the Stanford Financial Group worldwide. For over a decade, the Caribbean has been the focus of his vision. Now, the region is reaping the rewards of the hard work and commitment to customer service started by Alan's grandfather, Lotus Stanford, when he founded the Stanford Insurance Company in Mejia, Texas, more than 70 years ago. The modern-day company has built its foundation on the principles of hard work, clear vision, and valuable service. A deliberate focus on people has transformed Alan Stanford's business into a multi-billion-dollar empire serving over 40,000 clients in 79 countries on 6 continents. With over $25 billion in assets, the group's businesses have now diversified to include the airline industry via Caribbean Star and Caribbean Sun Airlines, real estate, printing, and financial services. Add to this a $2 billion investment fund earmarked for regional development, and you get a sense of the vision that has driven Alan Stanford's success. It's a vision that has within its sights a future for the Caribbean as decidedly first world, yet retaining the inherent charm and flair Caribbean people. The Stanford Caribbean Investment Fund is designed to stimulate the growth of Caribbean economies well into the future. This will be done primarily through the construction of world-class tourism developments, supported by vital infrastructural projects. The fund was started with $100 million from Alan Stanford himself. Another $1.6 billion will be derived through public and private investors, and another $300 million will be sought in regional government concessions. The fund is steered by a board of directors comprising regional business leaders. Stanford Development Company, the fund's general partner, will review development proposals through its satellite offices located across the region. At least 2.4 million people in 9 Caribbean territories will benefit from the Stanford Caribbean Investment Fund.
I think that the fund is valuable economically to the Caribbean because every dollar spent is a dollar that was not there before. Every project that we look at, every project that we do is a project that was not there before. These projects create a lot of jobs, and I think this is valuable for all the islands.
The fund already has its first success story, a groundbreaking development project at the V.C. Byrd International Airport in Antigua that will be the flagship for what can be accomplished throughout the region with Caribbean talent in record time and with quality that is second to none.
Since I've been employed with Stanford Development, the landscape here has changed drastically over the years. We have seen a pasture land which now sits or resides the pavilion, the cricket field, sticky wicket. That has changed significantly. The outlook for the actual residents and tourists coming here to Antigua definitely has changed it beyond our dreams.
The people in general have bought into the concept of a foreign investor, such as Mr. Stanford, coming to the territory because they have seen the fruit of what he has promised. He has promised to build a better Antigua, job opportunities, growth, and certainly a quality product with West Indian labor, primarily Antiguan, and they have proof positive in the project that we have around us.
The island have been benefit from Mr. Stanford because he's here and you have seen the difference to the island. Because before, a lot of investors came in to our island and they invested, they came with an empty briefcase and they went back out with it full and leave us high and dry, right? But with Mr. Stanford, you have seen the difference because, you know, he's investing and everybody benefits. Not he as an investor, but every one of us.
The Antigua project has already generated greater levels of employment, directly and via the ripple effect of spin-off industries. There has been a transfer of skills and cutting-edge technology, making Caribbean nationals that much more equipped to compete in the global business climate. Best of all, this top-quality showpiece development has encouraged many young Antiguan professionals to return home for the beginning of what promises to be a regional economic revival.
As a young professional, the Stanford Investment Fund has provided me with an opportunity to come back to Antigua and pursue my career in architecture. If it hadn't been for this fund, I would have still been in Toronto trying to find a job and trying to make my way, whereas this investment has provided me with the opportunity to come home, be with my friends and my family, and stay at home and do what I love to do.
It's a great company to work for. It's still one of the fastest, largest growing companies in the Caribbean. I'm doing things that I never thought I would be doing. I am designing projects and designing in general, which I wouldn't be doing if I stayed in the States.
The rate of construction on the Antigua project has set a new standard of performance. Buildings that would normally take 1 year to erect in any other part of the world are at a finishing stage in 4 to 6 months. Further proof of the commitment to deliver a projected 14% return to its investors.
We deal with three things: budget, quality, and time constraints. We're definitely moving at a very fast pace. Some of the buildings here actually have erection dates that seem impossible but have been done. And we've been within budget on most of our projects and not going anywhere past 1% of variances. We actually have a model here that's a proof that West Indian labor and talent itself could either be on par with the first world or even better than the first world.
The Antigua Airport Development Project shows Stanford Development Company's unique ability to create beautiful buildings and also to provide a tremendous amount of infrastructure. As striking as the buildings are, they're made even more stunning by John Love's landscape design.
The design concept of the gardens reflect the spirit of Antigua and the West Indies Islands. It's a unique statement, I hope, in color and movement, a lyrical approach. For example, our median area on our main road, Pavilion Drive, is a sea of green grass crashing with white bougainvillea foam into a bromeliad reef of bright colors. A design concept, again, that reflects this keyword unique. Something that you will see here that you won't see anywhere else in the world. Something that inspires hope and progress and the Antiguan way of life.
When we do a building in terms of construction, the landscape that come after has really improved, send a different whole look towards the structure of the building, give it a real beautiful environment. And from that standpoint, the rest of Antigua started to catch on the same thing. So it has changed Antigua, both how they look at building and how they look at their gardening and the landscape, environment, everything.
It is as if the buildings themselves are John's canvas and the plants his paint, bright, energetic, and flowing. Because a skilled labor force is also difficult to find in many parts of the region, the Stanford Development Company is putting much of its resources into establishing a skills base that can hold its own anywhere in the world.
We have 5 cooks that are from Antigua, and from day one at orientation, before we were actually in the restaurant, we had a week and a half of classroom training, just going over different cuisine and the kind of food we're going to be doing, talking about the menu, explaining to them all the dishes, the different service points, fine dining, wine classes, service classes, food classes. We broke it down into 3 areas and just really talked about the importance and the expectations of Mrs. Stanford and what we want to accomplish here on the island.
Having intentionally set out to train people on an ongoing basis, the company can now boast some of the finest laborers, surveyors, and craftsmen. The team has acquired unique skills suited to the task of developing in the Caribbean. The aim with the Stanford Caribbean Investment Fund is to transfer that technology to other islands and enhance their labor force in order to ensure that the Stanford quality is maintained throughout.
People have developed and actually grown for the 8 years that I've been here. I know guys that came on as carpenters and now are supervisors on my sites. So there's no question that it is working, and what SDC had planned from the onset is coming true to light.
Personally, I came here over 16 years ago, and I have seen the workmanship that I was presented with at that time. It's totally different today, and that is because of Alan Stanford and his vision and the opportunities that he created. Now I can safely say that Stanford Development sets the standard in Antigua for design, construction, and quality.
The strength of that Stanford quality is the right people. The group rewards performance, and that has proven a tremendous motivating factor for staff.
It's a lot of hard work. You're in demand like 24 hours a day. My phone rings like 2 o'clock in the morning. There's a broken water line. Got to get out of bed. Got to get there. I think they like what they saw. They believe I could do the job. I personally should be able to start from the bottom any place and work my way up. That's my philosophy. You just put in what it takes and you get what you deserve.
When I started working here as a receptionist, I liked the fact that it was a little company, but that didn't last so long. And then when I got into the accounts department, I liked it because they encouraged me to, better myself.
When I first started, I was in the landscaping unit where I looked after plants, and it was a joy to see them start from seedlings, little seeds, onto seedlings, and then, to grow. Not long thereafter, I got promoted to supervisor. And this too had its challenges because originally I'm Dominican, and I'm a little lady at that, and I had to deal with quite a number of guys. But things came on quite well. We worked together, and personally, it just shows that the company actually gives support.
Innovation is also a priority. Staff are encouraged to push boundaries in order to find the most efficient ways for the project to function. A good example of this out-of-the-box approach is the development's water management system, crucial in a country that has limited freshwater resources. The roundabout, while beautiful, is also functional, concealing 250,000 gallons of fresh water that can be moved about the entire span of the project as needed. The real star of the project's water management process is the marsh biofilter.
Now the marsh biofilter takes pretty much the raw sewage and treats it so it can be used at the end of the process. It's clear and can be used for trickle irrigation. How the marsh biofilter works is through a single lift station, which takes you to the top of a hill, and the hill is terraced with various pools. The pools themselves, there's a gravel bed of about 24 inches, and of course the water flows through that gravel bed. Through the process, similar to hydroponics where you grow planting material without soil, they find the nutrients in the water and it thrives.
Another first for the Caribbean is the creation of an artificial reef through the use of reef balls made by the Reef Ball Foundation, a non-profit organization that aims to restore ailing coral reefs around the world.
How we were able to construct our reef was to first build the reef balls themselves, which are a low acidity concrete. Coral is a calcium-based organism, will actually grow on them very, very easily. And then once the reef balls are placed in the proper configuration, we can transplant the coral cuttings right onto the reef balls themselves. And we've had examples of fire coral and staghorn coral that has already been propagated and set in place and attracting quite a number of tropical fishes. I think these type of creative solutions are some things that set Stanford Development apart, whether it be creating an artificial reef that enhances the sea life and preserves coral reefs, or whether it's a marsh biofilter that treats your sewage and preserves fresh water and creates green space.
Yet, in the midst of innovation, there's also appreciation for tradition. Stanford Development Company has helped revive the art of stonework in Antigua.
The experienced stonemen seem to have died along the wayside. And when Mr. Stanford came along, that revived the art. It get a lot of people, even young people, very much interested. So that there's quite a lot of them are trying to learn this art because it's a very skillful art. It is creative. It keeps your mind thinking all the time.
It is clear that Antigua's airport development is very much a team effort. Employees of the Stanford Development Company regard their role in this project as more than just a job. It's a partnership.
The eagle. I wear my pin with pride. It gives you a sense that you belong to something that's much bigger and that your contribution matters.
Whenever someone put their hard-earned labor into something and get a result which is very satisfying, where others are passing and say they are very pleased, they appreciate it, it gives me a great joy to know that somebody else out there appreciate what I'm doing.
It's always nice that when you're doing a job, you can finish it and you can actually sit down and see the fruits. You can see what you build. You can tell your kids, well, I was a part of that.
The whole project has the spirit of partnership all over it. We're talking about partnership between the people of the country where we're developing the project and the Stanford companies. Certainly here in Antigua, we have seen how we have partnered with all the public sector. The local labor, we have developed skills that we did not have before here in Antigua. We have helped revive some skills that were somewhat dying.
Employees earn tangible results when they put their best efforts forward. The evidence is right before your eyes the minute you arrive in Antigua, in the form of a world-class development. Its epicenter is the Stanford Cricket Ground that embodies what best unites West Indians: cricket, glorious cricket. Kenny Byron understands the importance of the sport. He was once a fast bowler for the Leeward Islands.
Cricket is a unifying game in the Caribbean. Every Caribbean person likes cricket, no matter what and no matter where. We always listen to cricket, we always taking the opportunity to watch cricket. And so having developed this cricket pitch, a cricket field, and the restaurant next to it, Mr. Stanford has done something that a lot of us are very appreciative of.
But cricket, in terms of the Stanford vision, is much more than a game. The ways in which Alan Stanford has rallied round this Caribbean sport are very much in alignment with the objectives of the Stanford Caribbean Investment Fund and the values and work ethic envisioned for the region. He has made a commitment to the West Indies Cricket Board by making the ground available for training and preparation of West Indian teams. The Sticky Wicket is a sponsor of Antigua's national cricket team, and the restaurant recently honoured 12 of cricket's legends at the launch of the Sticky Wicket Hall of Fame.
We included some of the current players and some of the past players based on a vote presented throughout the Caribbean. And for me, it was such an honor to have the opportunity to work with Sir Garfield Sobers and Sir Everton Weeks, Michael Holding, Andy Roberts, Sir Isaac Vivian Richards. And I really have to congratulate Mr. Stanford for having the vision and making it happen, making sure all the resources were available to make sure that these great West Indians were honored in a very dignified and professional way.
The connection between cricket and the Stanford Caribbean Investment Fund lies in the region's attitude towards it. Rally round it, and the Caribbean can be taken to new heights of success. Through the awesome potential of the Stanford Caribbean Investment Fund, there'll be limitless opportunities unique to the Caribbean, especially since the Caribbean remains one of the few safe havens that still attracts global travelers post-September 11th. Part of Alan Stanford's vision for regional development is providing a reliable means of inter-island access. Enter Caribbean Star and Caribbean Sun Airlines.
In terms of the Stanford Investment Fund, it is critical that you have a strong transportation network throughout the region. The first key area is air transportation. It has to be high quality, it has to be affordable, and it has to allow not only CARICOM nationals but tourists alike to travel throughout the region efficiently at a very, very low cost or reasonable cost to stimulate that business.
The company has grown from 4 destinations where we originally started out to now 14 destinations and looking to expand as we go forward. To date, we have shown that we can withstand the challenges and we will be around for a long time to come.
Caribbean Star and Caribbean Sun Airlines are spreading their wings and improving both flight frequency and capacity. Sure signs that they are poised to support the fund's long-term vision for tourism and infrastructure projects across the Caribbean. The airlines recently added new Dash 8 300s to their fleets. This is notable growth in a post-9/11 world, growth that can be attributed to high-quality service and impeccable performance.
In my interview for this job, one of the things that they asked is if I'm a good team player, and the answer was yes. And I think that's very important, because if you have a person who finds it difficult to work as part of a team, it makes the whole operation very, very difficult.
There are many more projects in the pipeline. The Stanford Development Company is currently designing the Village Center, located opposite to the V.C. Byrd International Airport Terminal building and comprising over 30,000 square feet of retail space. In addition to fine shopping, the complex will also be an entertainment center with a state-of-the-art cinema and a music hub known as the Caribbean Blues Club. St. Kitts is the first island to which Stanford Development Company has extended its reach. The company is in the process of building the Caribbean Star Airlines headquarters there. While each element is unique, contributing to the overall impact of the development, perhaps the most amazing thing to many people is that the Antigua project is there at all.
If you land in Antigua, you come off a Caribbean Star, a Caribbean Sun flight, and you truly see this type of investment that we have here. You can actually touch the brick and mortar and see what Mr. Stanford has been able to do with CARICOM nationals. It gives the investment a true sense of security. It gives the investor a true sense of what can be done with CARICOM nationals in our region to a standard that's never been done before.
There's been a lot of interest even from our trust clients with regard to potentially investing in the fund. And this becomes just a magnificent showpiece for them when they come in, not only to talk about bank or trust business, but also to see what is actually occurring here in Antigua.
The project model at the V.C. Byrd International Airport has already shown what Antigua can do as a country. The Stanford Caribbean Investment Fund will show what the Caribbean can do as a region. The Antigua project has made a significant impact. It's the first thing you see as you arrive in Antigua, and the last thing you see as you leave. It sets the tone for the country and leaves a lasting impression. The Stanford Caribbean Investment Fund represents a whole new vision for Caribbean prosperity.